What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we are at Overland Expo Flagstaff 2024. The truck is in the Extrusion Overland booth as per usual, but today I'm going to walk around with you guys and show you some of the long-standing sponsors that I've been working with, some of their new products, and some new partnerships that I've formed in this last year, and showing you kind of why I'm going with them and why they're cool, different, and how you could personally use them. Let's go.
Hey everybody, this is Spencer here with Devos. We're at Overland Expo West. It's a little bit breezy, but we're having a great time, great show. Just taking a few minutes just to rock through our product line and talk about our latest and greatest light, area light, the Light Ranger 2000. You're probably familiar with our flagship model, the Light Ranger 1200. It's been a fantastic product, people love it. We then introduced our more budget-friendly version that's super compact and lightweight, the Light Ranger 800. Great product. And then just on Friday, we rolled out the Light Ranger 2000. And the 2000, because like the name, 2000 lumens, a lot of the great things that you would expect and we're already aware of, with the 360 degrees of light, you know, same customizations with the single button, down to 4 sides, 2 sides, 1 side, but now you have the ability to actually change the color right on the LED panels itself. So 2 buttons, one does the main operation, the other changes the color. So we've got, of course, white, amber, and red. So now there's no need for a filter kit. It's all built into the light itself. The other thing that's amazing about the new product is it's now Bluetooth controlled through the Devos app. So you can control direction, how many panels you have on, turn it off and on, change the dimness, and also change the color. Really simple interface. It's free, there's no charge for the app, and it's the first area light in the market with Bluetooth control. The motion sensor still works with the 2000 as well as our 1200 and the 800. So if you still want that security and safety at your camp at night, you can still use the motion sensor with the 2000 lumen light. The other thing about the light is it has a more robust tripod where you've got independent legs with a spring-loaded cartridge so that you can you don't have to worry about any other supports or struts. And you can also adjust it so if you're on uneven ground, you can have one leg up higher than the other. Really beefy construction, more heavy duty. It has ground stakes that are built into the feet. So if you do want to stake it in, you can actually add the ground stakes, put it right into the feet and get it into the ground. So all in all, awesome new product. We're continuing to listen to our customers and working to innovate and be the leader in that portable lighting category, and we're stoked to share it with you.
So keeping everything super simple and quick. Pull the titanium pin, case deploys. We make 7 different sizes. That way your options are really open from small all the way to triple XL. This is our medium plus mount on Condition 1's 801 case. We have our internal plate inside, stiffens everything up. Also has our internal gasket, so everything stays nice and watertight. Putting it back on, super simple. Get it in the bottom lip. Our dimple dies self-align along with our pin detent. Get it lined up, pull the pin, done. Throw your lock in there, you're secure. These were born in the racing world, so they lived through hell. This one just went through a big crash. We're still utilizing it today. Go to TheMountingCompany.com, check out all the mounts so you can turn any of your items into a quick release, easy deployable setup. Appreciate you guys taking the time to check it out. Enjoy your mounts.
this is Tyler with PowerTank, and we're going to look at some of our CO2 air systems, what they can do, and why you need one on your off-road vehicle. So starting here, we have our range of colors. These are CO2 tanks, aluminum, made in the USA, with billet handles and our superflow regulators. This is the real heart of the system. It's a high flow and high pressure regulator. Most regulators that you see won't have that combination. They're also designed to never freeze clog. If you've seen a home built system, sometimes dry ice will form and cause problems. Ours will never do that. We have different colors, but really what you're looking at is optioning the different accessories with it. Our package B systems includes everything you need to air up tires, run air tools, reseat tires, and blow things out. So that means that the package B comes with the PowerTank system, our superflow hose with a 1200 PSI swivel on both ends. It's CO2 rated. You get a mounting bracket, and you get one of our high pressure Ventoso tire inflators. No other tire inflator on the market is built to withstand 400 PSI, nor is it fully rebuildable like ours is. So with Josh's PowerTank, because he's mounting it horizontal, we installed a snorkel tube. And so let me explain that. Basically, what happens is CO2, the reason we use it is it compresses into a liquid at about 800 PSI. That gives us superior energy density, but the danger here is if we open the valve vertically, it's fine, but if it's horizontal, now we're getting that liquid CO2 through the valve, and we want to avoid that. So with our snorkel, we actually change the pickup point from here to roughly here. So when it's vertical, it's gonna pull in CO2 vapor, and when it goes horizontal, it will still pull in CO2 vapor. It works in both orientations and any angle in between. Additionally, our handle, I mentioned it before, but our handle is full of billet aluminum, solid aluminum rods, and its number one function is to protect your regulator and valve in worst case scenarios. We've actually had a customer recently bring us his tank. It fell off his truck going 60 miles an hour in Baja, and besides losing the gauges on his regulator, there was no leakage of CO2, and the regulator still functioned once we repaired the gauges. So super durable, super reliable, super safe. Your PowerTank is your primary air source, but it is fixed. So if you have a compressor backup, that's a great option to run both. Your compressor is always going to be there for you when you need it. And by not using it as your primary, you're going to extend the life of those wear items like the seals and the electronics. So your PowerTank is going to be super fast. So we're going to air it down with our monster valves. It's another product we sell, an oversized secondary valve stem. And it's a secondary because we want to keep our Schrader as our primary so we can watch our tire pressure going up and down second to second. Right now I'm at 25 PSI. I'm going to air it down to 15. Went a little past, but you get the picture. Extremely fast, the fastest way to air down a tire. Now we're going to air up first through the Schrader valve, and then I'll show you the monster valve, which really unlocks the power of the PowerTank. All right, we're at about 13 PSI now. I'm gonna give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in about 5 seconds, we're at 17 PSI. Now, with our monster valve and our monster chuck, we can cut that time in half. So again, I'm gonna put my tire pressure gauge on my Schrader. I'm gonna put my monster chuck on. And now we're gonna go from about 18, 19. To 30, under 10 seconds. And not only can you air up faster than any other air system on the market, your PowerTank also allows you to run air tools at full power. And it's the fastest, safest, and easiest way to reseat a tire bead on the trail. Right here I have a tire. The bead's broken. I have a standard Schrader valve, and the valve core is in. Normally you would pull it out to maximize your flow rate. Doesn't matter with a PowerTank. Plug my tire inflator in, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inflated. Give it another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 psi. There's no moving parts, there's no electronics, there's no plumbing to install, and with a lifetime warranty, this is the most reliable air system you're ever going to see. We've had over 25 years to upgrade the system over time. So now our power tanks include things like our super coupler, which means when I have 250 psi in my line, I always disconnect my tool at 0. Super easy, and connecting my tool is the same. Very easy with our super coupler. It's these small things like that that add up to the power tank difference. And the final thing that separates us from all our competitors is our exceptional customer service. If you call PowerTank, you'll reach one of us. If you email PowerTank, you'll reach one of us. We're happy to help, and we'll help repair or service anything. Doesn't matter how old it is, as long as it has that PowerTank name. Find us on PowerTank.com or PowerTank Official on social media.
Hi guys, Delon here from PowerBrake. We're at Overland Expo West, and just wanted to talk you through the features and benefits of PowerBrake. We work with Josh and the Dark Yoda. He's running 37s. He's got a lot of weight on the truck, and so we've really seen the benefit of him running a bigger brake kit. And so let's look through some of the features here. So we start with the Tacoma, and we have a 13.7-inch rotor, so a much larger rotor. And in the rotor, you'll see a cutaway here. We have curved vanes. So what those vanes do is they pull air into the rotor. And a lot of people don't know the air comes from the inner diameter and into the rotor, and we get it to flow over. The big problem we have with 4x4s is we're running bigger wheel and tires. And so what happens is the heat is created by the friction. And so what we want to do is, as quickly as possible, we want to bring those temperatures down, okay? So that's why we want to have this air flowing through. Another thing we do to just help manage the temperature is every single rotor's got temperature measurement paint on it. So what it does is it holds the highest temperature that the brake system's ever run to. So, and they're different color tabs, and they'll turn white as we hit the temperature. So it's 550, 850, 1000, 1200. So it's really nice that we learn and be able to get information back from the brake system. And if we see temperatures rising extremely high, we can make informed decisions on different brake pad compounds, etc. Every single rotor's got a slot pattern on it, and what that slot pattern does is it allows the pad to be scrubbed clean. So if you're going through any dirt or mud or anything like that, we'll scrub the surface of the pad, make sure that we're keeping friction material onto the rotor. And then last thing is we paint it with this black paint. So what happens is it's a dry fit. So we don't put any oil or anything on the rotor. Very, very importantly, everybody, when you're fitting a new rotor, you got to make sure the hub is extremely clean. Any type of rust can cause a run out 2,000 miles down the road, and then you can get a vibration. So that's a critical step. So yeah, that talks about the rotor. Then moving to the caliper, this is a 4Runner OE caliper original, and it's really heavy, okay? So what we do is we manufacture everything out of billet aluminum, and that allows us to be much lighter. So what's really cool about our big brake kit is essentially we run to a much bigger brake system, but we're the same weight as the original. So all the benefits, but we don't add to weight. And the reason we do that is we don't want to add to the rotational mass. So what we want to do is we run at almost the same weight as the original brake system. So what we don't want to add to the rotational mass problem. And so we're very conscious, and that's why we use the billet aluminum. It's a strong material, but it's also very light. If you look at a Toyota caliper, it has this big gap in the middle here, and that allows the caliper to flex hydraulically. And we really want to avoid that. So we want rigidity. So we have this big bridge at the top, which will make the caliper very rigid. And the important reason for that is modulation. We want you to have a modulation on the brake pedal to really understand and feel what's happening down at the brakes. Then the next feature is we bolt from the back, and that's very unique. So the bolts come in from the back, and then we machine on the billet all the way around the front, and that allows us to have wheel clearance. So for a Tacoma, for example, or a 4Runner, so any Toyota mid-size truck, that literally allows you to fit in any 17-inch wheel. So you don't have to worry about wheel sizing and fitting in there. Then the next thing is we've got temperature measurement on the back of every caliper. Again, allowing the caliper to, it'll show the highest temperature that the caliper's ever run to. Internally, we have stainless steel pistons, not aluminum. And the reason why is the brake fluid sits in the caliper here, and we don't want the heat to transfer into that brake fluid. So we're always trying to protect the components and the system from heat. Then very, very important, every single brake caliper has to have a dust seal. It stops the dust and muck and junk going in towards the pressure seal. We're always trying to protect that internal pressure seal. But the problem with a 4x4 and bigger wheel and tires is because of the heat, these dust shields can get very brittle and they can actually break up and crumble away. And then that allows all the dirt and stuff into the caliper. So we do that internally. So what we have is an internal wiper seal that protects the pressure seal, and that really stays intact. Doesn't matter what heat you run to. We run that same system on the Toyota Motorsport, the car rally trucks, and we're able to protect that pressure seal. Lastly, we have two different types of surface treatment. The first one is red, and then the next one is hard anodized. The reason for that is hard anodized is the strongest surface treatment that you can do on aluminum. And then the red, what's really nice about the red is it doesn't fade. So often you'll see painted calipers, they really start to look horrible after a year or two. Ours remain in that same structure, and they really look good, and they continue to look good. And it's a complete bolt-on kit. So it comes with all the components you need. It's got the brackets, the extended braided lines, etc. So it's a complete bolt-on solution. So I would like to just tell you a little bit about our brake pads. So the brake pads on a Tacoma is a really small brake pad. And it is not much we can do with such a tiny brake pad when you've gone to 35s, or 37s, and you've got that rotational mass. So our brake pad is almost double the size, and that's the reason for a 6-piston caliper, because we need to be able to make sure this long brake pad is not going at an angle or wearing at an angle. So that's why the 6 pistons are there. And our pads are manufactured in Japan by a family company, and they are very, very specialized. And what's unique about a 4x4 is, number one, we want to increase performance, okay? That's the goal and what our product does. But what's also important on a 4x4 is we do a lot of mileage. So, we have customers that are building their vehicle in Arizona and going down to Chile, or going Cape Town to London, or North Carolina to Colorado. So the mileages on the vehicles are really extensive. And so we focus a lot on giving extensive mileage. And so that's another thing. So we'll give you the performance, but we'll also give you a really good life on the brake pad. We only build brakes for 4x4s. We do nothing else. We're part of the community. This is what our product does. Our engineers drive 4x4s. All our team in South Africa, where it's manufactured, drive 4x4s. And then we're out of North Carolina. So let us know if you need any more information. We always enjoy working with our customers. We're part of the community. We wheel together. So yeah, that's the whole story about PowerBrake.
All right, so there are some of the cool products that I wanted to show you guys. I have 2 left. As you guys can see, though, we are no longer at Expo. We are out camping. Expo is over. But I have 2 more products that I really, really want to show you guys. One of them is integrated into deck. The other one is a 3-in-1 camper / topper / bed rack. So we're gonna start cooking and actually showing you the new decked piece made by Adventure Solutions in use. So check this out. Adventure Solutions made this little drop-in for your large deck drawer in the version 1 decked. And it takes a Dometic dual burner stove, and then that's the cutting board right there that we prepped all our food on. That literally just lays right here. You got your 5-pound propane tank. I'm probably gonna mount it right about here or so, but we're gonna try this thing out for the first time and cook some steak. You gotta have the butter from the South, boy. So I know somebody is gonna ask, with this sitting inside the deck like this, if it gets hot down underneath there. It is safe to the touch under here, like my hand is pressed against it. There is a heat shield that is about this far off the deck, so you don't have to worry about it melting your deck or really catching anything on fire, melting anything, as long as you have at least a little bit of a gap from that shield and whatever you have in there. Now let's go into, oh, my watch is freaking out. Now let's go into the new Extrusion Overland exoskeleton. All right, so as you guys can see, the sun is going down. We cooked with the Adventure Solutions decked grill and it worked really, really well. I need to mount the propane tank to the extrusion on the side here. Speaking of the extrusion, last thing I'm gonna show you guys before we wrap this video up. So this is the extrusion exoskeleton. The cool thing about this is you don't need to buy a topper from the jump. You don't need to buy a full camper from the jump. You can buy this as just the shell, so a bed rack, and then add the doors and the enclosure, and then add the camper topper if you want to. What I did and what I think is really cool is they're the first bed rack topper camper company on the market to make a mid-height, fully enclosed topper. So mine is 17 inches. This is not the production model. Production is probably gonna be around 16 inches or so. So it'll be an inch shorter, but it's got obviously gas struts. You've got MOLLE panels underneath the doors here. It's a little dark, you guys can't see. Fully enclosed. And the nice thing about this topper as well is you'll be able to have a bar across the outside here to where you can mount things like your shovel, your, recovery boards and all that kind of stuff, trauma kits, whatever it may be, can all go on those outside doors and will still open and everything that you need them to do. You can also mount things to the crossbars like I have here. I've got my third brake light and my chase lights mounted directly under my tent. But again, the nice thing is it's a mid-height option for a full enclosure as well as a bed rack and a full camper. Again, you can start with just the rack, add the doors, and put whatever tent you want on top or get their full camper, but you don't need to drop all the money at one time. That's gonna wrap up this video. Hope you guys liked my Expo kind of video. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace.